Epic Universe has officially been announced. Plans and specific park details and artist concepts of the different lands that are going to make up the park have been have been just they've exploded on social media, and I am making a live stream to talk about it. This is a very random live stream in the middle of the week in the early afternoon, so I don't know how many people are going to actually be here live for this. So this is mostly for the replay, just to be able to go back and look at this at some point in the future, just to see like my initial excitement, just to see maybe ignorant anticipations that I have about the park that are either will or maybe won't come to fruition once continual plans and information comes out about the park, and especially when it opens. So this is a pretty important live stream just to be able to discuss this and my excitement. And so if you're watching this on the replay, yeah, I'd be curious to know just your thoughts about this. This is very significant news. A park of this magnitude has not opened up in Central Florida in 25 years, pretty much, right? Since Islands of Adventure opened up in 1999, there's not been a significant investment in the construction of a new theme park in Florida, to my knowledge. Volcano Bay does not count. That is a water park. It is a water theme park, but it is a water park. It is a themed water park. But so this is exciting. Yeah, Disney has not opened up a theme park since 1998 with Animal Kingdom. So all the parks that opened up, so it was Magic Kingdom in 1971. It was Epcot in 1982. And then Disney's Hollywood Studios, MGM Studios in 1989, Universal Studios Florida 1990, Animal Kingdom in 1998, and then Islands of Adventure in 1999. As far as just specifically Orlando. So yeah, I'm super excited to talk about this. I did this with Destination D23 when Disney announced some things, and so I thought this would be the most fun way to discuss this and to just sort of share my excitement with you. And yeah, when it comes to just people that watch my channel, I really hope that it's sort of a hybrid of appreciation of just theme park people that enjoy, and that's why I go everywhere and do everything whenever I can, right? I'm not specifically a Disney person or a Universal person or a SeaWorld person, Busch Gardens person, whatever, I mean, and there are those people, but I appreciate everything when it comes to theme parks. I am so excited about every new opportunity, every new attraction and ride and offering and just invitation to immersion and excitement that these theme parks bring, that these very talented and creative people conceptualize and then construct, in these theme parks. So as far as a brand allegiance of whether you're Universal or Disney, that's fine. That is to everybody else to have their own opinions on, but I think just the most ultimate way of enjoying all of this is just to be just so excited about everything that's new. You can still have an opinion about it. You can still maybe not like it. You can challenge these theme parks and these imaginative minds to maybe build something better, or to use a property that they aren't using and utilizing, but just it's so much fun and so rewarding to just enjoy it all, right? That's what this community is about, is that diversity of just the opportunity to be able to just live out these fantasy worlds, whether they're original or whether they're just beloved IPs. That's what this community is about, in my opinion. So I do definitely personally, I feel bad for people that box themselves in to appreciating specifically one brand. There are vloggers that only do Disney and only do Universal, and whether or not that's for just the actual return on investment of what they want their analytics to be, what they want their engagement to be, because certain videos do better than others. That is fine. That is them. I think that they're completely missing the point and missing out on what this entire thing is that we're doing here when it comes to theme parks. Because that's okay. So Epic Universe has prompted this conversation about just Disney versus Universal, and that has been a very contentious subject of conversation to a lot of people when it comes to just how Disney is responding to Universal, what Universal's doing that Disney's not, vice versa, who's better than the other, and to certain extents, I do agree with a lot of topics that people bring up in those conversations, and but I don't think that that should be meriting of like an actual brand association of just, you know, I am done with Disney. I am full on board with Universal for, or vice versa. Because you have your very pretentious Disney people that want nothing to do with Universal. I know people that go to Disney World every single day. Not even not even an exaggeration. They go to Disney every single day of their life, and Universal is absolutely repugnant to them. The idea of wasting their time stepping into a Universal park or giving them even a penny of their money is just delusional to them, and then vice versa. Some people are very much so turning on Disney because it's been a little bit stagnant with the creative aspect of what they're bringing to the domestic parks, specifically at Walt Disney World, and then going over Universal. I don't know if that's as much just following the content where it is when it comes to influencing and vlogging and blogging, because at least to me, and that's why the videos that I put on this channel are just all over the place and ridiculous, and I'm not trying to like talk myself up above these people, but to be a vlogger, to be somebody that goes to these parks and enjoy it, you do have to put in that effort yourself to meet them halfway. Yes, Disney's not going to be putting something new out every single day for you to go and to vlog your experience or to vlog what's new at the parks. You do have to put that engagement in yourself, and that's why you have to like what you do to do this, right? You have to enjoy theme parks to be able to appreciate it, and you have to, if you're an influencer or whatever, you'd have to sort of, I don't know, you have to create new ways for yourself to enjoy it, because yes, the parks do get stagnant. That's a lot of people's opinions about theme parks and about, I don't know, vloggers, bloggers, Instagrammers, whatever it is, is like, do you get burnt out doing it? Of course you do. If you go to the same place every single day, you will get burnt out unless you take sort of these precautions to find new ways to enjoy them, right? Every new, I don't know, combination of activities and everything that all makes this worthwhile, I think. And that's sort of a tangent, but I think because of course this announcement with Epic Universe has brought about, it's just brought about a lot of negativity, right? The construction progress and announcements and leaks and everything. It's always turned this glare, back at Disney to see what their response is, to see what they're doing that's new, to see what they're announcing, and Disney's not helping themselves by actually not announcing anything new or teasing something that they're thinking about doing at the various, events, D23, destination or expo otherwise, that they haven't announced. So Disney absolutely does need to sort of, at least just for the locals, for the pass holders, for the people that actively want to go to Disney often, they do need to announce something to keep them engaged and excited to be able to go back. They do sort of, I don't know, they definitely attend to the like international travelers more than they do the domestic, it seems. At the same time, I do think if you really zoom out and you see what the scope of Disney is comparatively to Universal, Disney is doing a lot. It's just they're not doing a lot here. You see all the different rides, the land expansions, the cruise line, the entertainment, the movies, everything that they're doing worldwide. It's a lot. It is a lot, but what Universal's doing right now exceeds what Disney has been offering. So that's sort of like a unnecessary tangent of just like, and I'm probably going to go off on tangents just as I sort of talk about this information. I'm sort of just like talking to get people into the conversation here, and people are definitely talking over here. I'm doing something different with my live stream setup now, so I'm sort of blocking what I'm able to see. I see that Jabber here has a super sticker. Thank you so much, Jabber. I really appreciate it. It's good to have you here and part of the conversation, as well as everybody else that's just starting to talk about what I'm talking about. What upsets me is there's so much more to Orlando and Florida than the theme parks, but people don't really see that when they travel. Disney won't open a new gate anytime soon, I don't think, but I think more people should be excited about Tiana's Bayou Adventure because the craftsmanship on the exterior alone is phenomenal. Yeah, so I do agree there. I do think that, I agree with all that. There's definitely more to Florida than the theme parks, but that's what you do when you go to Central Florida. And I want to be better about that. I want to explore more about Florida. I want to I grew up in Florida. It's one of those, when I grew up in Pensacola, everybody would go to the beach. That would be the thing that everybody did. But because I was there, I didn't go to the beach often because that's what I grew up around. So it wasn't really special to me. So growing up in Florida it's harder to be. I get not as excited, but it's I think about the more I leave Florida to sort of find the adventure and the tourism outside of Florida, but there are tourist things that are not theme parks that are also Florida related. Um, I don't know, teach their own. So that's sort of the point of all of this is to each their own. If you want to talk about that, because again, I'm just really excited about this theme park, and because I'm excited about Epic Universe does not mean that I'm not excited about Disney, because I'm congratulatory of what Universal is doing does not mean that I'm trying to be demeaning whatsoever to Disney by any means. Um, I'm just I think that and that's sort of the conversation is that um, just creativity and progress inspires other progress to meet that supply and demand. And so by Universal doing this, Disney will have something to respond to it, whether or not it's a massive theme park expansion. They continually tease the amount of billions of dollars they're going to invest in the Central Florida economy going forward over the next 10 years, and they need to put their money where their mouth is, obviously, when it comes to that. But I think that Disney knows what they're doing. Disney's been doing this a very long time, and I think that they might be underprepared for actually finally having a legitimate competitor in Florida. Not that they're just now becoming that, but Universal always used to be the side park, the place to go on your way to Disney. If you added on an extra day to your trip to Disney, maybe you would go to Universal too. And now people are specifically going to Universal for their vacations over Disney. And now with this new theme park, it could completely pivot into a new direction of people only going to Florida to go to Universal and not Disney. And I think Disney's aware, like they're aware of that, and they will absolutely have some sort of a response to it, you know? But I want to talk about this theme park, about Epic Universe. Hopefully this has given people a decent amount of time to enter into the live stream if they're going to. Again, if you're watching this on the replay, I hope my tangents aren't too, derailing from the ultimate conversation, which is just the excitement of this theme park. And I specifically waited, this might be more like virtue signaling, but I specifically waited until Universal made their official announcements, because as far as we knew, none of this was actually happening. We knew that a theme park, as far as official announcements by Universal, we knew that there was a theme park called Epic Universe bringing new stories and IP projects to Universal, and that was it. They didn't announce anything, really any else at all. But we've been spoiled by the internet, because the internet can be a place that it's information overload, and that can be beneficial, and then it could be detrimental, I think, to stuff like this. And this is my opinion. I think that a majority of people are probably going to disagree with me on this, and that is completely fine. I understand that, and I'm just trying to figure out how to how I want to say this, because I like being excited and surprised by new offerings when it comes to the theme parks. A lot of other people are not. A lot of people intentionally seek out this information before it's officially released. They are desperate to have this information both for themselves and to provide for people that are like them, that do want to consume as much information as early as possible, to get excited about that, because at the root of it, that's what it's all about, is people are just really excited about this, which leads them to seek out this information. So I understand that. But what I don't agree with personally is I do think that it should come down to the theme parks, to these businesses that are themselves putting this information out there. That is their information to disclose. I think that's a really boring opinion to have. I know I'm a Boy Scout, so that might be a contributor to that. But the overwhelming aerial photos and patent leaks and insider information that has just been so explosive with this project, I have been really disappointed by that. I have avoided every possible spoiler that I can to this theme park, because other than what Universal, and sometimes even when theme parks do announce stuff themselves, I don't really want to see it. I want to experience it, which is hypocritical. Being a vlogger, as somebody that goes into a theme park to vlog my first time experience to then upload onto the internet for other people to see. So I'm aware of that like hypocritical aspect to this, but I don't know. But I think if people want to watch that, then they will, and if they don't want to watch, if they don't want to watch that, then they won't watch it. But as far as this being the first time that this information has actually been released about the significance of this park, the scope of it, what the different lands are going to be, what the theme of the park is, but having that be almost old news, there are people that are probably, they saw Universal's announcement and they're probably like, well, I already knew that. That's what I don't care. Announce something actually interesting, Universal. Like, don't blow out their candle. This is something that's very important to Universal, to these people that worked on this project, that had to sign NDAs, that have been working on this for years, the economic investment and creative secrecy that went into this project just to be completely just all over the internet. I'm bummed out by that. And I just definitely need to say that I have nothing against people that do put out this information on the internet, but it's just absolutely not for me. I'm just, I want to have Universal or Disney, whoever these people are. I at least at this point in my life now, I could have been different when I was younger, 10 years ago, where I would be excited for any little snippet of information to be leaked that I'd be able to be excited about. But I think I want these parks to have their own, I don't know, rewards for what they've done, to be able to release this to people that are excited about it, to be, I don't know, legitimized in that way. And there are things that were not announced with Universal's announcement today that everyone still knows about because of these patent, and none of this is information that was acquired in ways that I think certain aspects of this information is public information that if you look for it, you will find it. And when it comes to patents and project filings for construction or permits, whatever it is. And so if you look for it, you're going to find it. You're going to be able to post about it. People are going to know what the project is. And I mean, too bad, so sad, right? That information is public, and it is well within anybody's right to find it, to share it with anybody else that shares that same excitement for the project. Does that make sense? So this is just a me thing, I think, on my own little soapbox, as I've been almost talking for well over 15 minutes about about this without even talking about it yet. But yeah, I want I don't know. I want Universal to be able to announce this at their own speed with the intention that they have, and bring people to the parks because of their own PR departments and creative endeavors and social media influence that will then be shared, just like this video, just like everyone else that's doing a live stream probably right now, or the videos that will be all over the internet over the course of the next week, just talking about this information and spreading awareness for this incredible new place that I'm excited to go to. And yeah, I think that's my soapbox for now. I don't want to get into it, so just be careful about spoilers. This video itself will have spoilers, so if you want to just know this park, if you want to experience it for the first time when you walk into the gate, this is probably not the video for you, either live or on the replay, whatever. But if you just want to just hear me talk about it and just kind of discuss my thoughts about it, and not to say that this information has been taboo to even talk about up to this point, because everyone wants to talk about what's new and exciting and coming to the parks, right? I haven't been very respectful of the information that's been leaked or showcased or taken pictures or videos of, that has just sort of spoiled everything, all of it. All of the rides that Universal didn't announce that are in these respective lands. Universal has not announced that, but everyone knows what they are. And like, is that valuable information? And am I excited to know what I do know based on the spoilers that I have seen and not been able to scroll past? Yeah, it's cool to know what's coming to the parks, but I don't know. I think I feel just bummed for Universal, So if you made it to this point of the video, thank you very much. That was my absolute tangent of tangents about this theme park and just my thoughts about it. Why I haven't really talked too much about it, because I've just been waiting. I've just been waiting for Universal to announce it, to formally, officially announce it. The video that they put out that was about 7 or 8 minutes long, it was beautiful. It was just absolutely everything that I wanted to be with the official announcement of this park and these lands, and made it so much. It made it make so much more sense just in the way that they packaged that information. And I appreciate waiting until they made that announcement so that I could be excited about it, right? So yes, so yeah, there is a yeah the there is an account that does post aerial pictures consistently of the theme parks, and that is so much of a double-edged sword to me because a lot of it is incredibly cool to be able to see theme parks aerial, just to see the scope of these parks, to see it's almost it's people watching, but from thousands of feet in the air, right? And you can see just all these lands and how they work, the distance between these parks, the specifics of the construction and the creativity that goes into these parks. You know, I'm not a fan of aerial photos myself in the sense of how it disturbs that aspect of what I don't care for, which is the theme park experience. If you're walking through Toy Story Land, and you're just wanting to hear the ambient sounds of the theme park and then a helicopter flies over you, I don't like that. I think that takes away from the guest experience. I think it's a little bit, I guess, a little bit rude to the people in the theme park. I think I'm thinking too much into it at that point. But if everyone flew a helicopter over these theme parks, then no one would have a good experience ever. You wouldn't hear any sort of background music or ambient sounds of the park or whatever these theme parks are supposed to be, which is an oasis of escapism and immersion into these worlds. But then it's also cool to see the parks from above. So I understand again, always me with the hypocritical comments about how I don't like it, but I kind of do, right? And then just the aerial photos that are of these theme parks from above. What I think is going to be cool about that, even though they're not my favorite, because I want these parks to maintain like an element of secrecy and surprise, it will be really cool for the future once these parks have been opened for decades, right? Or this park in particular, where it'll be really cool to see the construction progress just over the course of however long it was being constructed. It's even cool to see that, like back when photos were being posted of Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge, where I wanted those to be a surprise. Now that these lanes have been open for a long time, looking back at those photos of them being constructed, that is really, really cool and probably very important to, I don't know, just to be able to look back at and to have for theme park enthusiasts to see these lanes being constructed and the progress and timeline of the construction. So that'll be neat. That'll be really cool. So that there's sort of the silver lining with that is that it is really important to document this. But I just wanted to be a surprise, I think, and I think that's all I need to say about that. I don't want to call anybody out in particular, and these are people that I respect for what they do, for the enthusiasm that they have to post this information. But I don't know how well I I don't think it's not content for me, right? That's the epitome of the internet, especially in theme parks and vloggers, and everyone has their particular favorite vlogger because they most identify with how they think. There are people that only watch Disney vloggers because they don't care for Universal. There are people that only watch Universal vloggers because they don't care for Disney, and that is totally fine. So if you're watching this, that means you might be a little bit more like me in certain ways, maybe not all, but thank you. I think that this is a fun place to just appreciate theme parks and give them respect for the projects that they put on and respect the creative people that are behind those projects. So now that I'm probably almost 30 minutes into the video, let's talk about Epic Universe. So this morning, Universal released a video that was beautiful, that showcased what Epic Universe is. It went into the very specifics of the theme park. Goodbye, Jaberni. Yeah. So it went into the specifics of the theme park. 5 worlds were announced for this park with over 50 unique experiences. I'm reading this off of my phone. I sort of took notes as I was going through the video. So what I think is really interesting is how, and again, this might be completely repetitive information to people that already know all about this because of all the leaks and patents and project construction updates all over the internet, but the entry into each of these lands is you're going to be going through these portals to get into the worlds, right? So the first portal, I can actually pull this up. Are you ready for this? I prepared. I had preparation. So this is Epic Universe. This is the entire theme park, as was announced as the um, uh, the concept art was released for earlier today. I got distracted just looking at this map because I've really not looked at it in too much detail. So each one of these 5 lands is going to have a portal entry into that world, right? And amongst these worlds, there are going to be 50 different experiences. So the very first one at the front of the park. So at the back of the park, you can see that's a hotel. That is the Helios Hotel. That is going to have 500 rooms, I think is what they said in the video. Yeah, that's the Universal Helios Hotel with 500 rooms, and that is going to have park entry. At the very front of the park, that is the first portal, which you will enter under the Chronos, where all the planets will align into Celestial Park. So I have this right here. So this is Celestial Park. Okay, and I can I'll put myself in the top left up here. Hi. So yeah, I'm reading this off of my phone as I'm sort of talking about it. So this is the first portal entry into Epic Universe. And I think that this is really neat. That is a beautiful design. The arches, it does very much so resemble sort of a Universal Park, but it has a very modern, almost, I don't want to say, like, throw the word steampunk around because I don't think that that's accurate, but it just has a very different architectural design to what a modern Universal Park could look like. It is officially Universal Epic Universe Park, which I hate that. I'm just going to call it Epic Universe. I think everybody will, because what Universal Epic Universe? Why would you call a park that? But so this is the very first entrance into again, what is it called? Celestial Park. And they talked about landscaping, water features, dining experiences within this first land of the park. They're actually, I think that they said they were bringing the park back into the theme park, sort of. So it seems like there's going to be a very relaxing nature to this first park entering into Epic Universe, but it will have attractions. There's the Constellation Carousel. There's the Astronomica, which is like a dancing water fountains attraction, and then the dueling launch coaster called Starfall Racers. That is that big roller coaster. I think in the very back of that concept art, you can sort of see. I think it's like a yellow coaster. I think that's the coaster that Brennan and I saw when we went up in the Orlando Eye, and we could sort of see Epic from a distance. So that's probably the big premier e-ticket attraction of this particular world. I think they're all worlds. So that is, and I don't know super specifics. They shared so much more video. They shared so many more concept art pictures, but I just wanted to have like one picture per land just to sort of discuss it as I just sort of went through this video. So that is Celestial Park, the very first world where you will be entering the park through that first portal right there into this land with so much just shopping, dining, relaxation, and then some pretty fun attractions, it looks like, to be able to enjoy. So now I'm going to take myself off of the screen here so you can see a little bit more of Celestial Park. You can see the Helios Hotel in the back of the park back there. That is going to be so cool. That is, I am nervous about this theme park when it opens. When it comes to the popularity, when it comes to the hotel bookings, people are staying in the new value resorts for when they open next year, months before the theme park even opens. So what is the booking of the Helios Hotel going to look like? So next portal I'm going to talk about is this. This is the Isle of Berk. And I'm going to go back for just a second here. So the Isle of Berk is the How to Train Your Dragon area. So that is after you enter the park, it looks like that's on the, if you're oriented towards the hotel, it's on the right side. And it looks like that is by far the biggest land in the entire theme park. So when it comes to specifics of rides, again, they did not really say anything. You could zoom in on this concept art and you can see clearly there's a roller coaster over there, I think, right? Maybe? See, that's the thing. I don't really know a lot about, the specifics of the lands and the rides because they didn't announce it, and I've been trying to stay I've been trying to avoid them. But is that the dueling coaster for Celestia Park? It could be, or there could be also a dragon's roller coaster. See, that's why this video is important, because I'm looking at this and I'm still trying to make it out. So it'll be fun to, once I actually know what is in this theme park, it'll be fun to go back and be like, oh wow, you didn't know that there was going to be a roller coaster in the Isle of Berk, How to Train Your Dragon area, or you did. So next is the Isle of Berk. This is going to be the portal into the Isle of Berk, and I'm going to put myself back up here in the top right. Hello. I feel like I'm embarrassing myself with my lack of information on this when so many other people know so much more about this, but I'm just trying to talk about it. I just want to get this information out there, just my enthusiasm to this theme park. I can just feel sort of connected to everybody else that already knows everything about this theme park when it opens, and I will learn so much more as we continue. So this is the How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk area. They just said it's going to be an area where you can soar with dragons and have a Viking adventure. So sort of not a lot being said about that, but I think that this is the largest land, and I know from, again, videos and photos that I've tried to avoid, I know that there are particular rides in here that have already been testing. People, I think, are commissioning this theme park right now, or definitely starting to very soon when it comes to just employing the people in the park to test the rides to open by 2025. So that is the Isle of Berk, and you can see that portal that everyone is going through, which is going to be so interesting, just entering in through all of these portals. So now I'm going to go back to the main map right here. So the next one that I want to talk about is on the other side of the park. That is Dark Universe. So Dark Universe, let's see, I'm going to bring up the portal for that. So this is the portal for Dark Universe, and what they said about Dark Universe was, I think it's a world where classic Universal monsters are reimagined in an ominous and chilling experience. More or less, sort of paraphrased from the video that I saw. So I don't really know anything about Dark Universe, and I'm suddenly feeling very sort of insecure about how little I know about what's actually in the lands of the theme park. But they will be announcing this probably just continually throughout the year, this year, next year, maybe. The specifics of the rides these parks are going to be. Maybe not, POVs or actually specific experiences that you would have on the ride itself, but I'm sure that's there are already like 3D renderings of all of these rides, probably all over the internet, so everything that I'm saying is very moot at this point. So it's just cool to be excited about it. It's cool to see this finally imagined, even though it's a concept rendering, but just to see what these portals look like, to see what these lands are that have been announced, and just to get excited about the possibility of what that could be, and I think that's where I've been ruined by the spoilers, is because it's fun to think about what they could have done with these lands, right? The type of rides that they could have put in these lands, and everybody knows everything about it already, so there's not much left to be imaginatory or excited about, because it's going to be spoiled. And then at the same time, I'm going to go to this theme park and I'm going to vlog it because it's what I do, and I will spoil it for other people. And I hope not. I don't know. It's so hypocritical. So I'm going to go back to the main map here to talk about the next land. So next is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic. So that is back over on the other side of the park, in between the How to Train Your Dragon area and the Helios Hotel. So this is a Wizarding World of Harry Potter expansion, and it's sort of interesting because it looks like, let's see, I'm going to pull up the map here, or the portal entrance concept art. So when it comes to Universal's Wizarding Worlds, I think that they sort of combined a couple concepts into this land. They said it would be a 1920s Fantastic Beasts Paris area, but then also the British Ministry of Magic, which Ministry of Magic, that's really cool, and I hope the anchor to the recognizable nature of Harry Potter, because Fantastic Beasts, they were fun movies, they were fun extensions of the Wizarding World, but they're absolutely by no means as well received as just the Harry Potter world. So if they anchored an entire land around Fantastic Beasts, I don't know how well that would do. I don't know how much the percentage of how much it's going to be Fantastic Beasts versus Ministry of Magic. I don't know yet. We'll definitely see. I don't know what sort of rides or attractions they have in here, but a new Wizarding World, for me, is at least something to get really excited about, right? I think the Universal just absolutely blows it out of the water with the Wizarding World lands. So what they're going to do with this, I'm sure will be top notch. It will be so immersive and so fantastic to experience. So that is the Wizarding World Harry Potter. That is the portal entrance into the land. It's neat that they're all actual portals, and you could zoom in on the specifics of the actual portal entrances and the intricacies of the art designing the entrance into that land. And I think the most reasonable portal will be this final portal in terms of just like the concept of the portal to get into the land, because we already have this land in multiple places, but specifically Hollywood. So I'm going to go back to the map after I remove this off the screen. So finally, back on the other side of the park, in between Dark Universe and Celestial Park, the park entrance is Super Nintendo World, which this was probably the most obvious land that anyone could have possibly imagined with what would go in this theme park. It absolutely had to happen, and I'm gonna go find the map up here or the concept art. So this is honestly sort of a boring portal. There I am. I think, I mean, it's kind of cool. Just that berm there just sort of makes it just a very um I don't know. And maybe I thought it would be a lot more than this. Like the portal would be like Peach's Castle itself, but Peach's Castle will probably be obviously inside the land, and it's definitely better than Universal Hollywood. Hollywood just has the warp pipe, and then just like a wall that you go through. But that's why I was saying that this portal is the most sort of obvious to make sense for this concept. Is that it's the warp pipe is literally a portal into Super Nintendo World, and they're just sort of taking that and making it a little bit more extravagant for this particular portal entrance into Super Nintendo World, which it's cool. They have the pipes up there, and they have the star and the mushroom and the fire flower and the coin, So it's fun. I just think it looks like what's the word that I'm looking for? Very unassuming, maybe, I think is the word. But that is Super Nintendo World, and there's not really much they need to say about this. They said the particular characters that you were going to be encountering in this land, and they mentioned, of course, Mario, Luigi, and then Donkey Kong, which that's one of those spoilers that I sort of wish that I didn't know about, which I will refuse to look at any video POV of this, because this might be the ride that but I don't even know the other rides, so I can't really say this, but this might be one of the rides that I'm the most excited about to experience, is this alleged attraction that will be themed around Donkey Kong, because it's going to be pretty much the land that already exists in Hollywood, but with the addition of another ride in addition to that. Maybe a couple more rides than what's already in Universal Hollywood. I know that Hollywood is definitely the small baby park compared to the other iterations of this land and other parks. So I think that was it. I think that was Epic Universe just sort of going through the lands as far as what was officially announced. And, these concept arts, I'm pretty sure, are probably pretty accurate at this point. They try to, when it comes to concept art, they're definitely going to, I don't know, usually, at least in the early stages of something, they're going to make something very ambiguous with what you're actually looking at, where it could look like a number of things, and then, of course, budgets change and projects change. So I'm trying to go back through my notes here. I think that I mentioned everything that I wanted to mention about, whoopsie, I dropped my phone, about this park. And this is sort of one last look at it, and this concept art is literally everywhere on the internet. So you can go at it sort of at your own pace and try to zoom in and try to make sense of what you see in the lands. Even though it's still pretty hard to see. Super Nintendo World, Dark Universe, Wizarding World of Harry Potter, I don't even know what I'm looking at in those respective lands, so it might be a good amount of dark rides there. How to Train Your Dragon seems pretty open with the attractions they have there, but they still have some show buildings to be excited about. So there it is. There's Celestial Park entering well, entering into Celestia Park from the park entrance, Super Nintendo World, Dark Universe, The Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, and How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk with the Helios Hotel at the back of the park. I love the just like the I don't know, kinetics of the park, the water that they have there in Celestia Park leading out to the different portals, to the other worlds. This is going to be really, really exciting. So now here I am again. So thank you everybody for coming to this live stream. This I don't actually didn't end up being as long as I thought. Wow, half this live stream was just me complaining and going off on tangents. Um, so I'm excited to go to this park. I don't know by any possible means the accessibility of this park when it opens. Of course, it will be. I'm pretty against the first culture with vlogging and influencing and blogging, at least when it comes to um, personal benefit, you know. But when it comes down to being first, because I really really want to go to this place and say that I was there on the first day, that is the significance of going and being there, which will probably involve having to just buy a 1-day ticket. I don't know if there's going to be I don't know. I doubt that there's going to be an annual pass presented as an opportunity for people to go to this park for a while until it can be incorporated into a ticket to where you can just go to this park and at least in the first several months of it being open, it'll be challenging to go to this park, definitely, much less stay in one of the rooms attached to the park. And then, if anything serves as a reminder of history about how opening days go for theme parks, they don't go well. There's not a lot to do because of how popular and overrun it is, and how the rides, even though they're commissioned and they have to do their ride testings for these rides, unless maybe not, technology has progressed significantly over the past several decades, so maybe this could be a completely flawless theme park opening, unlike that sentence that I just tried to say. But yeah, so that'll be a point of addressing that at some point in the future. Of, is it even possible to go opening day to this theme park? And if I did, would I be able to do one ride, if that? And it would probably be multi-hundreds of dollars to do that. But would it be worth it to say that I went? So that's just something that I could say that I did in the future. I went to an opening day of a theme park in Orlando. I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited to get more announcements about the specifics of the rides, about the specifics of the lands themselves, and one of those, again, spoilers that has been unfortunately spoiled is that they are going to be doing a what is it? Not a tribute store, a preview center, like a preview of the theme park that's going to be set up in, I think, City Walk, to be able to see a preview of the park, and hopefully they'll have models of the different lands, and you can really just see what these lands, what these worlds are going to look like, at least the outdoor portions of them, and maybe the interior, the dark rides can be a little bit more imaginatory to be excited about once the land does open. So I'm excited to go. I'm excited for this theme park. I'm excited that Universal finally, officially announced it and just let everyone know what there specifically was to be excited about when this park opens next year. I really hope that Disney says something in return to this with plans that they have, because when it's down to announcing plans, that's still several years out from actual, fruition, from concept to reality, especially with Disney. When they announce something, it's before they even start constructing it. And Universal seems to be the opposite, where they wait until they're done constructing something before they announce it. I don't know. Which is there a preference of either or that makes sense to keep people happy? Because people will never be happy in this community, unfortunately. But we'll see with D23 this year. I think this will absolutely put Disney in hot water, where they have to announce something. They just have to, because so many people are just leaving Disney just on the pretense of just what they're not doing at this point compared to Universal. And I still respect both theme parks, major theme parks, so much. I love them so much. Every combination of what these places provide to me in life, it does not go unappreciated. Absolutely, they are such fun places to escape, to exist, to be happy, and I think that that's what really this all should be focused on. Is just the creative worlds and the imagination that it gives people that really need it sometimes, right? So thank you everyone for coming to this live stream, for just letting me talk and complain. Oh my god, I forgot to do what is in the title of this video. I almost just that would have been terrible and so sad. Um, so I got this mail, and this was in a video recently, but I wanted to be able to make sure that that's not pertinent information. Yeah, I wanted to just go through this really quickly because I said that I would do it in a live stream, and sort of random to do it in a live stream mostly about Epic Universe, but I think that this was casual enough of a live stream, just especially just with my tangents, that I think that this is an appropriate place to do this too. So this was in the mail. This was from Keith. And I read this in the video, but it says, inspired by the live stream where you tasted some chili from Cincinnati, I thought I would send this Kentucky care package so you both can try some of the best treats from my old Kentucky home. The bottled drinks are a sort of ginger ale, locally known as Ale 8. The brand is a play on words, Ale 8-1 or A Late One. I think the soft drink is an acquired taste, but it is very popular in central Kentucky. The candies are from a confectionery called Ruth Hunt, which has been making candy for over 100 years. The pulled cream candy and bourbon balls are staples in Christmas stockings at my house. I hope you both enjoyed the treats, and thanks for all the time and effort you put into making these videos. I always look forward to the next OIB upload. So that was from Keith. And in the box here, so Brennan is at work right now. I go to work later on tonight. I worked yesterday early morning, so it's just and she worked all day yesterday, so our schedules have been everywhere. But I wanted to open this up and just sort of go through this, just to make sure that I did. And Brennan's going to be trying hers later on tonight because it was another one of these and nailing them in the box, and I'm sure that we're going to be enjoying this throughout the week. So, is this a twist off? Okay. Good thing I brought this. Alrighty. Ooh, that's exciting. I'm going to have some lunch after this, and I will be finishing this with my lunch. Absolutely. So this is the original Ale Late, A Late One soft drink. Okay. There's something Club Cool Epcot about this that I was immediately dismissive of because I was anticipating a Beverly reaction, like a Beverly taste, where there's like a slight bitterness, at least on the front end of this, but then dilutes to being sweet and pleasant, almost like a ginger ale. So this may be completely inaccurate, but I think my brain did some sort of Beverly ginger ale hybrid association, which may be completely inaccurate. No, I think I got to double down on that. That's actually really nice. What's the color of this? This might be like just a ginger ale ish, but again with like a twist of I don't know if it's like bitterness or if it's just like I don't know. The flavor is a mystery to me. Whatever. I don't even know what flavor Beverly is. Oh, okay, so Best of the Bluegrass and Green Glass. In 1926, my great Uncle Lee introduced a ginger and citrus soft drink like no other at the Clark County Fair. From that day on, the indescribable taste of this bluegrass favorite would be known as A Late One or the latest thing. 4 generations later, I still blend the secret recipe from Uncle Lee's handwritten notes. Open one yourself and taste the tradition. So there were ginger elements to this. I don't know where Beverly came from, but sure. That's good. That's actually, I do like that a lot. I like ginger ale. Okay. So this is the Ruth Hunt candies from 1921 to 2021, 100 years shaping Kentucky's confectionery history. Ooh. So these are the bourbon balls, correct? Yes. Okay. A little pecan on there, a pecan. That might just be one of the most delicious candies I've ever had. So, with nuts, I don't know why. I don't like nuts by themselves. My family loves nuts. They get just the whole containers of nuts and they're just reaching in there and eating them, and I want nothing to do with that. I don't get it. I don't care for it. It's probably like the lack of like a seasoning that I enjoy. But when it comes to nuts with candy, that's where it is. I love nuts and chocolate. I don't even really like chocolate by itself, but chocolate with nuts. That's the combination that I am just very enthusiastic about. That was so good. I am going to finish this box very soon. Absolutely. And now for the Ruth Hunt candies. Oh, they're like individually wrapped. Okay. What does this say? The origins of Kentucky pulled cream candy are unclear. Okay. Few outside the bluegrass know the pure joy of this creamy smooth confection melting in their mouths. As we celebrate our 100th anniversary, we still use real whipping cream and dairy butter poured on a cold table and pull it to perfection. One of the first candies made by Ruth Hunt, and one for which she received much praise, is Kentucky pulled cream candy. Lyndon Johnson once ordered 60 pounds of Ruth Hunt's cream candy for Christmas at the White House. I feel like I read that one word behind. I just could not read that. And I did not read the bourbon bowls. Did it say anything interesting specifically? Okay. Well, I'm going to read this really quick. Well, maybe not. I think this is specifically just about like Ruth Hunt and the history of the variety of candies that they make. But because it doesn't say anything on the back of the box, at least for the bourbon balls, unless I missed it. See, now I feel insecure. Yeah, I think that just seems like generic. Those were phenomenal, though. Is this the same? That might have been the same like information in this that was in that. Okay, I already read that. So this is the original cream candy from Ruth Hunt. Taking my time. That one is more of an acquired taste. That's like what is that like? There's almost like a circus peanut taste to that. I just looked up my reaction in the computer over here. Just like reacting like that. I think that I like that, but not as much as the bourbon balls by any means. what do I taste? Circus peanut. It's like a vanilla cream circus peanut sort of a taste. But it's delicious. Vanilla cream candy. It's not my go to sort of a candy, but it's weird. Every bite that I take, I initially am uncertain about it, and then I like really like it once once it like fully dissolves and or it just coats my taste buds. So I don't know. I like that. I really like the bourbon balls. That's good. That's just like comfortable. I think with sodas, a lot of sodas can be just too too sweet or not sweet enough or whatever. That's just like it's a good. I think just soda to just enjoy. Um, so I'm gonna go and go. I think conclude this live stream. Been talking for almost about an hour, which is a pretty reasonable time frame. I think for a live stream. Maybe only like 15 minutes of this live stream was actually the stuff that was the interesting stuff, but it was cool just to sort of dissect that, discuss it, and talk about it. Um, Thank you to everybody that left uh, comments on this and just sort of discussed what I talked about or your opinions on it, Epic Universe in particular, and if you share the same opinions that I do when it comes to spoilers and being excited about these things, but wanting to do it in like a respectful way of the parks being able to announce that information themselves at their own pace, then I appreciate that. Um, can you hear me? I'm talking to the microphone here. I'm seeing a comment about how I talk into it because I kind of talk in this direction, so I know it kind of hits it from the side, but I also don't really want to like be like this the entire live stream, and I don't know. Um, I'm learning, and I always consistently want this to be better if I can make it that way. Um, you know, just trying to improve where I can here and there, but ultimately just trying to make it a fun conversation, just to be able to talk. Because you shouldn't let the the technical aspects of something deter you from working on projects, because I let myself do that a lot. Um, Someone's asking about Pokemon cards to see if they are good value. You can go to there's a website called tcgplayer.com that sort of displays the market value for all cards there. So if you go to that website and you type in the name of the card at the top and you find your specific card on that website, then it'll show you sort of like the market price for a particular TCG card and what it's being sold for and what it's worth. A lot of the times it does depend on the condition of the card. There's mint, lightly played, heavy played. But when it comes to like the condition of the card, so that's what a lot of people are looking for with worth. Because a lot of people they think they have one card and they think it's worth a lot, but if it's in bad condition, it's worth barely anything at all. Um, so yeah, that was a random trading card game tangent there, which I'm gonna have there be maybe a little bit less of that, or just have it be very condensed in certain aspects of this channel. As I'm kind of just diluting my Pokemon interest, not my interest, but just my collectability and how that manifests on this channel. And I'm excited about Lorcana. Played that a lot recently. So there will still be TCG stuff. I'm just trying to not have it be the focus of the channel. It's this channel is just what I'm interested in the time that I'm doing it. So if I was really into Pokemon at a certain time, then I'm excited to be able to like showcase that, because I know looking back at the future in several years, I'll look back and I'll be able to see that I was, what I did during that time and where I was. That's why I like this YouTube thing, is because I can do that. Right after this live stream is over, or shortly after, I'm going to post a video from New Orleans, because I just got back from New Orleans a couple nights ago, very late, a couple nights ago, and then immediately went to work very early the next day. So I'm posting the first day of that trip today. So there will be several videos from New Orleans. Going to spend that with my family, with my brother Travis for his birthday, and then my other brother Dennis, my parents, and then his family, his wife, his kids, his parents. we all went to an Airbnb in New Orleans, and we got to do so many cool things in New Orleans. Got to see a Mardi Gras parade. It was really neat, and I'm excited to be back home. I'm exhausted. You could probably just tell facially here that I'm excited to be kind of dormant for a little bit, just because I've been doing a lot with just between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and now going to New Orleans. Just every month has had some sort of week long just experience that I've absolutely loved doing, but it's taken a lot out of me, and I've also been trying to catch up on just work too, because of the hours that I would take off to go do that, and then so that's why the videos have been very stagnant recently, and I will get back on that very soon. Hopefully, getting back to just normal. There's a lot of fun stuff coming up that I'm really excited to do. A lot of fun challenge videos. So if you are still around, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this video now. If you have any thoughts or comments that you want to just post after the video is concluded, please do. I want to get better about just having those conversations in the comments. I don't want to solicit just comments just for the sake of it. But if people have opinions that they want to share and they want a response to, then I want to be better about that. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to try to keep the live chat comments also after the video. Yeah, so hopefully you can see those in retrospect, because I know that I missed a lot. I missed a lot of questions and opinions. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, wanted to go and just make this video about just, oh jeez, as I break my Harry Potter wand, about Epic Universe, my excitement for it, my overall enthusiasm for the creativity and immersion that it is going to provide, and then open up some mail. So I will see you later. Thank you for watching, everyone, and hopefully I can do another live stream soon at some point. Goodbye.